something to do. But it's just like you build him up so high, and after this thing with Lesnar, it's like
he's just back to
where we were
basic
before.
Strowman now.
Competition.
Yeah, it really is back to Mick Foley time, Strowley.
It's back to the same thing again.
Yeah. So next we had Alexa. She doing a promo coming in to basically say she's beat everybody and she's better than everybody. But then Mickie James comes out. And Mickie James promo on her was really good.
I didn't get to see it. Tell me about it.
It was first basically Alexa was like, you know what? I don't care about, you're not really important. And Mickie was like, no, you said you had a lot to say at Raw Talk.
Remember I told you she was talking
so Alexa Bliss was like, you're an old lady. Like she just was like, I told, and so Mickie James was like, no, you got to understand who I am. I'm the 6-time women's champion. I've been doing this back when you were still wearing a training bra. And then
give me some applause on that.
And then to add on to that, she was like, and I see the training bra is still working well for you. Oh, man. Look.
Oh, man.
Mickie James went hard. Yeah. So then they had they exchanged a couple more words. And Alexa Bliss was like, you know what? She was about to look like, you know how she was about to attack. But Mickie James immediately slapped her. Ooh. So she turned.
So she didn't assault her twice, did slap her.
Yeah, then she slapped her first. Then Alexa Bliss, she didn't fall. She turns. Before she could turn back, Mickie James slaps her again.
Damn.
She turns. And this time, before Alexa Bliss turned back the second time, kicks her in the face. And then she rolls out the ring. Yeah.
So this wasn't backstage. This
was in the ring.
Wow.
Yeah.
So like I said, they could be building toward a little short feud with them until Asuka gets here.
I hope so.
Try to give Mickie James something to do because again, you think about it, she has beaten everybody. Yeah. She wins the Fatal 5-Way. So there's really no person you can say, out of these 4 that she beat, who's more worthy to have a title shot.
Right.
Mickie James has just been sitting on the shelf, not doing anything. So I think this is a good way to try to get her going.
I agree. So after this, we had.
First question though, was it like Stephanie McMahon slaps? Like, do they sound off?
No, it wasn't like a super pop. It wasn't like
nobody can slap like Stephanie McMahon.
Yeah, the first one made a little noise. The second one didn't make any noise. Like the second one, like she hit hair, like just the back of her head kind of hit.
Gotcha.
So
I just had to make sure if she was at that level with Stephanie.
Right. Yeah, because Stephanie does have like some.
She's got powerful slaps. Man, woman, it don't matter.
Yeah, that's that. She been working out with Triple H slaps right there. So the next thing was the Seth Rollins versus versus Sheamus. Cesaro being there, but had zero involvement. He was just literally no open mouth. And it's funny, the camera was even zooming in on him personally as they were walking to the ring, like they were expecting him to talk, and he did not open his mouth at all. And
you saw enough at No Mercy.
And then, yeah, exactly.
That was rough.
Corey Graves said something that it shocked me. He said, more so than the teeth breaking, the teeth actually went up in his mouth some. So there was like, the first thing they had to do was try to pull it out, which might have been what they were doing on the side, just to get it out from up there. But he's still going to have surgery on his mouth. So,
like I said, he can get some
something. Right, that's what I would think, just to go ahead and get it out the way. But the Seth Rollins Sheamus match was a really, pretty good match. Not much you can say about it. It was just a decent match going back and forth. Seth finally hits him with the knee off of dodging the bro kicker, and he dodged something else right before he did it. So it was just a good match, just a match to be in there between good competitors, 2 heavyweights. But the main thing now is knowing that Seth Rollins is planning on fighting Braun Strowman next week. So that's just where that goes. It's pretty much now Sheamus is going to be, from the looks of it, on his own with Cesaro kind of being there. Hopefully this injury doesn't keep him off for too long.
Tag team to fall on.
Yeah, that's really
the Hardys are out. They don't. Anderson and Gallows. That's the only one.
And they didn't even appear this week.
And that's the thing. I was telling you at No Mercy, let them feud with them because they were so involved into building toward this No Mercy. So I think they should be the team to get the next dibs at Ambrose and Rollins. And then that's when you can throw the Balor and
the Bullet Club Shield.
That going that way, but who am I? I'm just a guy. just looking at things
from the power perspective. From the power perspective. Yeah. So after this, we see Finn Balor walking backstage, and Goldust comes at him like, "Where do you get off?" And Finn's like, "Why?"
Sounds like his force.
But he was basically his whole thing was saying how Finn Balor was addressing that Bray attacked him as a victim. And Goldust was like, "I'm nobody's victim. Don't you dare call me a victim." He was like, I didn't need your help then, and I don't need your help now. And don't you ever disrespect me, and so and so. And Finn was like, "Dude."
Can I translate that conversation for you?
Go ahead.
"Hey, Finn Balor, what are you doing tonight?" "Nothing." "Hey, Goldust, what are you doing tonight?" "Hey, let's have a match."
Yeah.
We're not doing anything else.
But this is true. I definitely agree with you. And so even Finn Balor was like, he didn't show any anger. He was trying to like kind of just back away. Goldust attacks him. This is all backstage now. This is on the backstage. He attacks him. He slams him on like one of the little things, hitting his ribs or whatever. Then he just leaves him there.
Finn Balor hurt. They ain't gonna have nobody on Raw.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but that sets up a later match between Goldust and Finn Balor. But in between,
I think I caught a glimpse of that match, but I'm glad you told me how they got to that point.
Yeah, that's
I
how they.
thought it was just something they just booked.
Yeah,
like, hey, you two fight.
No, they put a baby feud into it to understand why we have to see this match.
And I saw the ending of that match, and it's kind of got me wondering.
Yeah,
I think a bad movie's coming.
But in between, before we got there, we finally had the Miz versus Roman Reigns, and now. No, let me explain the match before I get into it. So, of course, the Miz Taraj was back behind the Miz coming into the match. And at first, the Miz tried to give it like, Roman Reigns, you can shake my hand. We don't have to do this kind of situation. And Roman Reigns, he shook his hand. But then Miz was like, okay, good. Tried to turn around to walk out. But Roman Reigns kept holding his hand. He didn't let go. So Miz was like... And so he tried to turn around and swing. Roman ducks it, knocks him out the ring, and then the Miz is walking around like, I wasn't even ready. And the Miz is like, you see what you did? They're going at it. So then they finally start their match or whatever. And every few minutes, the Miz Taraj is coming in interfering. You see one comes in on this side. I think Bo Dallas hits him like. Slings him off the ropes, kind of one of them like neck breakers off the rope.
He kind of popped up.
He did that off the side, so it was always them interfering. But it was still a good match, and Roman, of course, got the win out of it in the end, in the long run. And it was honestly, from a crowd perspective, this was the first time I really heard a positive buzz for Roman Reigns.
I mean, think about it. There's nothing else going on the show. So, I mean, that's the only thing that was that probably was the best moment of the night.
Possibly.
I mean, because you listen at all these other matches, I mean...
Yeah, but you know what? Now this part, what happens next goes onto your intestine saying the Miz Taraj is really just a secondary team. They're no way in comparison to how strong the Shield is. This is what happens. The Miz Taraj comes in. They attack Bray.
I'm sorry that I don't have the same energy level as you tonight because Mercy has drained me, and then Raw follows up to be.
Listen, man. Listen. The Miz Taraj attacks Roman. And it looks like they're about to, they hold him up so Miz can do his skull crushing finale. But Reigns pushes him off, kicks him off. He hits the Miz with a Superman punch, and at first he looked like he about to set him up for a spear, and he's like, you know what? Nah, forget it. He comes up to the Miz like he's about to do the powerbomb, which in my mind immediately is like, oh, the Shield put. That's the Shield seed right there, because he doesn't do the powerbomb unless he's with the Shield. But as soon as he tries to do that, Bo Dallas and Kurt Axel comes back, this time with chairs. So now they're just beating on him with chairs, beating him. Then the Miz finally gets to do his skull crusher finale. Then they walk out. Then the Miz stops halfway up the ramp. He's like, he looks back. He looks at them. He's like, come on, we going back in the ring. So he hits him with this chair some more. And this time he puts the chair under the face and does the skull crusher finale again. Then they stand on top of Roman. Miz standing on top of Roman. They're on the side. And what does the Miz do? Puts out the Shield fist. They do the Shield. They show that dominantly took out the. Come on, not again. But see that showed that they was like, they know what you're thinking. That it's like, we know that the Miz Taraj is really just some jobbers with the Miz. It's really not a real comparison. So what do we need to do? We need to make them look aggressive. So we need to make them convincingly beat up Roman Reigns with chairs. So now I think they're really going to do this for like at least the next couple of weeks. Like every time he fights like next week for the Intercontinental Championship, he's going to lose because they're going to interfere, beat him up. And then finally that Miz plug of saying, you will never, like, you don't have any friends. We're better than the Shield anyway. And if they think of coming, we'll destroy them too. Boom. That's when you get them.
I have no comments for that.
No comments? Okay. So
I do actually. It's this is just, you're excited, and I'm glad you're happy about this because you get the Shield. I'm so happy that you're happy that you get the Shield. I want the Shield back too, but just
be patient because I know you want the Bullet Club. They're gonna come. I do feel like they're gonna come, but we just have to go through this. We have to go through this.
I don't want to go through this. That's the thing. I don't want to go through this. If against any other faction, I am good. There are opportunities to go ahead and get this Bullet Club versus the Shield thing rolling.
But see, you have to build that.
What they should have did was left the Miz. You know what? Not even leave the Miz out of it. I thought about this today. This is what they could have did.
Okay.
They could have Reigns on Miz TV.
Right.
Have him come out, gloat over his win. Have Finn Balor come out and talk to Roman like, hey, Roman, he could say, I beat John Cena, blase, blase, and have Balor come out and like, hey, Roman.
You haven't beaten me.
He has beaten you. He has beaten him, but like, hey, Roman, you're making this all about you. Like, you're the only, like have some kind of controversial back and forth with Finn Balor.
That's more push, though.
And let's prove who's the better person. Like, the last time I checked, I beat you once, you beat me once. How about tonight, me and you fight in the ring tonight?
But see, nobody really I
remember.
Common people don't remember. We remember it because we really watch on it and we keep that memories. But the people who just go and watch Monday night, the live shows, they don't remember Roman and Finn fighting.
Finn beat Roman his first night on Raw.
I remember that. I don't even remember the second match.
A couple of months ago. But now we're tied. Okay, let's break this tie. You beat John Cena last night. I beat Bray Wyatt last night. We had two big wins last night. So let's go at it.
But here's another thing too. They got Roman on such a dominant looking level that Finn Balor's not there to the crowd eyes yet. Like, for them to do that would be like somebody like making Enzo come out to challenge Roman Reigns. That's how they made it look. Which is, Finn Balor is definitely a heavyweight. He still looks like a heavyweight. But just to the appeal right now, how they're pushing Reigns into that Braun Brock, Finn Balor's not in that level, which is why they don't really consider, like, it's even this week Finn Balor was like, I'm going back for my title. I'm going back for my Universal title. But they
that won't be till next year though.
Yeah, they haven't made any emphasis on pushing that yet at all.
They're going to, but I think we have to get Brock out of the way first.
But we have to still build Finn Balor. Finn Balor is,
I mean, that's what I'm saying. They're not doing anything with him.
Yeah.
So at that point, you can have him and Reigns kind of go at it.
Roman Reigns is too big for him right now.
Listen,
I'm sorry.
Have them have like an argument, and then let them have a fight, and then maybe show something in the back, like, hey, like, how sometimes you have those little backstage moments. Say him passing Seth and Dean. Hey man, good win last night. Hey, good win. Like, have this basic conversation.
Okay.
Oh, you got a match against Finn Balor tonight. Okay, man, good luck on your match. And then show Finn Balor in the back, like, getting ready, stretching or whatever. And Gallows and Anderson walks up. Like, hey, have like a conversation with Finn. Like, hey, you got Roman Reigns tonight. We'll be watching or whatever. And then kind of like, maybe let them have a little match. Have Anderson and Gallows, like, come out to get ready to start something. And they kind of beat Reigns up at the end, and Finn is like confused about like what they're doing. and then kind of make it seem like the following week, like, hey, you knew